Whew. Hello YouTube, this is Crimson Dante Gamer, and it is a great day today because now we have the actual performance of GTX 1080 Ti, the RTX 2080, and the RTX 2080 Ti. Now Hardware Box did a few benchmarks within his channel with the RTX 2080, 2080 Ti, and 1080 Ti. And for the most part, what was the benchmarks from before, it looks like it was pretty much completely wrong for the benchmarks we saw. So we aren't really getting 50% more performance, really. So over here, what you're seeing is the GeForce RTX 2080 Ti versus the GeForce GTX 1080 Ti, and you get it roughly about 23% faster on average. Give or take, there'll be like 2 or 3 games that's gonna do about 50 or 60% performance, and that's gonna be with the DLSS support. That's like saying, oh, let me put SLI and it's gonna work better. Now, the reason why I say that it's really not worth buying this card, again, if you already have you shouldn't really buy this card at all, honestly. If you should, buy the new cards and you don't have a GTX 1080 Ti, you should buy the RTX 2080, to be honest. And you shouldn't buy it any higher than what like $100 or $150 more than what the lowest price of a GTX 1080 Ti, which is $600 or $650, around there. So you shouldn't be buying the RTX 2080 any more than $700, $750, because you really only you're getting the same performance, basically. Now, considering the RTX 2080 does better in some titles, the 1080 Ti does better in other titles, give or take. So performance pretty much the same. There's nothing really to talk about. If you really want to get the new technology, you should go for the RTX 2080. If you have a GTX 1080 or lower and you feel like you really need to upgrade because of reasons, yeah, you shouldn't go any higher than RTX 2080, and it will actually be better if you buy an SLI. In fact, it will pretty much cost you the same as having two 1080 Ti's. Now, if you have a 1080 Ti SLI system, it's really not worth buying the 2080 Ti, man, because a lot of the games already support SLI. You're actually going to have a better chance playing games with SLI than hoping for DLSS to actually work in the game, because there's like only 6 games that really use DLSS, deep learning super sampling, that gives that extra 50+ performance boost on those games, right? Yeah, I call those outliers, really, because out of the majority of games, it's not really going to perform any faster than 23%. That's just the sad truth about it. Yeah, further I'm going to show from Hardware Box. I'm going to link his channel so you can watch it later. Really, really good stuff he's posting here. So let's further go. So this is the RTX 2080 Ti versus the GTX 1080 Ti. It's about with 4K performance, you get about 31% faster. Is it still worth the price for a $1,200 card? Again, I was pretty much correct for what I said. The RTX 2080 Ti is about 31% faster. So I was right, unfortunately. So for 31%, you're paying $1,200, $1,300 for a for RTX 2080 Ti for 31% more performance on 4K. In some games, or actually half the games, you're only getting extra 10 FPS, honestly, than a GTX 1080 Ti. And in fact, if you have an SLI with them, there is really no reason to upgrade, honestly. Yeah, it's a newer card. If you have a GTX 1080 and you really want to buy it, and you have a GTX 1080 and lower graphics card, then I guess you could go for RTX 2080. If you feel like spending an extra $100 on it. Personally, If you really want to go for that badly, okay. I mean, you shouldn't be buying. I shouldn't be paying any more than $100 or $150 more than what the current GTX 1080 Ti is. So I'm gonna continue forward. Let's see. Alright, so this is the difference between an RTX 2080 versus a GTX 1080 Ti. It's only 1% faster on 1440p, and the same goes with 4K. Oops, not that. With 4K, you get 1% faster on average versus the GTX 1080 Ti versus the RTX 2080. Really, I mean, this is I'm really not surprised. This is the same performance. Alright, let's further continue. This is the 1080, yeah. Now this is the reason why I said it was, you know, did it say the RTX 10, oh no, yeah, 2080. Okay, 1% faster. Alright, so this is the RTX 2080 versus the GeForce GTX 1080. If you want to upgrade to RTX so badly, now is your chance. If you didn't buy the 1080 Ti and you really want to upgrade from a GTX 1080, then now is your chance to buy it. Or you could wait a little bit if you're lucky for prices to go down, or if you like, you can buy it. I mean, you shouldn't really be paying any more from from $710 to $750 for the RTX 2080. Why? Because the GTX 1080 Ti right now costs $600 or $650, and it does the same performance. Yeah, and you have two of them. There's even less of a reason to buy a 2080 Ti, man. Honestly, and if you really wanted to play Tomb Raider so badly, it's gonna have Shadow of the Tomb Raider. It's gonna have DirectX 12 support. So if you have two GTX 1080 Ti's, it's gonna outperform a single RTX 2080 for sure. That is for sure. Alright, let's continue. What else is there? That's pretty much yeah, that's pretty much what I expect. So yeah, this is, you know, nice technology, but is it worth the money? Only the RTX 2080 is basically worth for the performance. The 2080 Ti, no, it's not worth the 2080 Ti unless you get it for $1,000, I guess. Then actually, then it's gonna be worth it. But at the moment, you really can't get this any higher than hoping $1,200 or $1,300. You really can't get any higher than, any lower than that. Any lower than that, you can't really get it. I'm gonna link his channel, and I'm gonna link another YouTuber's channel so you can check it out later. So, like I said, my prediction was correct. What I predicted, what other people predicted, based on the cores and all those things that you're getting. Now, the reason why I'm saying that if you have a GTX 1080 or lower and you really wanna upgrade so badly, you should go for the RTX 2080 because it's a newer card. It's a newer card. It's much newer than the 1080 Ti, and over time it would actually run a little bit faster than a standard 1080 Ti. And that is the truth because it's newer technology. More games will support it over time. But at the moment, if you have a GTX 1080 Ti, no, you shouldn't be upgrading, honestly. Unless you have like a lot of money and you really don't care about how you're spending your money. Personally, if I had a lot of money, I would still care what I'm spending it about, honestly. Because for the performance to price for the high-end cards, the best of the best is the GTX 1080 Ti. And if you find the RTX 2080 for cheap, which you can if you look hard enough, that is also a great card, but not as good as the GTX 1080 Ti. The RTX 2080 it kind of supports, if you find it for $700, $750, it's possible to find it for that much. Does actually it's actually worth the price because you get some extra technology. You get the RTX with DLSS that's going to support future gaming. newer games actually runs a little bit better on the RTX 2080, about 4 or 5 FPS. Other games, even new ones, still run, you know, between 5 or 7 FPS. There was only a few outliers that the RTX 2080 beat the GTX 1080 Ti, but it wasn't that many. Most of the games that the 2080 and 2080 Ti should beat the GTX 1080 Ti is with RTX, you know, DLSS support and that bullshit crap. That's like saying, oh, let me turn SLI on and run a game. That's basically what DLSS sounds like, honestly, because DLSS, in order for that to work, deep learning super sampling, again, the actual company has to support that technology in order to work. That means, just like SLI support, NVIDIA has to pay the company in order to support that technology. That's just how it works. Right now, at the moment, 2080 Ti, no go. RTX 20, more like it. RTX 20, more like it. Now, you could do this. If you have a really old system, a 980 Ti, and you really want to upgrade so badly, and you want to have the best of the best with the best performance, which is the best performance. The 2080 Ti is not the best with the best performance, honestly, for what you're paying. It's not. The best of the best of the performance is the 1080 Ti and the 2080 RTX 2080 for the price. Why? Because the RTX 2080 is going around toe-to-toe with the GTX 1080 Ti with the pricing. It's about $50 or $100 more, but again, it's newer, has newer drivers, going to support future games more than a GTX 1080 Ti. Sure, it has a little bit less VRAM, but it's whatever. And it has DLSS support. That's something that the GTX 1080 Ti doesn't have. Now, will I recommend it if you have a GTX 1080 Ti already? No. Not at all. You shouldn't even buy this card if you have a GTX 1080 Ti already. Should I recommend it if you have two GTX 1080 Ti? No. I wouldn't even recommend a 2080 Ti under any circumstance. Especially if you have two GTX 1080 Ti's in SLI, you shouldn't be buying that card. Those two cards put together, you put SLI on, it's gonna outmatch the 2080 Ti for sure. That's like saying, oh, let me put DLSS on a 2080 Ti and then compare it to GTX 1080 Ti with SLI. And the fact of the matter, those two cards put together on SLI for the same price as the 2080 Ti will outmatch them. And you actually have a better shot playing games at higher frame rate for less price than the 2080 Ti. With two GTX 1080 Ti's, and there's a lot more games supporting SLI than DLSS. And that's basically what I wanted to say. So the performance is about 30% more 1080 Ti on 4K. Now, if you're wondering, for 4040p, it's about 20 to 23%, somewhere there. You can see on Hardware Box the performance differences. Now, if you find the 2080 Ti for later on for $1,000, but this is still not recommended for people that have already. I will still not recommend it if you have already two GTX 1080 Ti's on SLI. So if you have a single GTX 1080 Ti, right? Just a single, not an SLI. If you have a single GTX 1080 Ti, right? And you see RTX 2080 Ti for $1,000, sell the GTX 1080 Ti if you really want more performance that badly, and buy the RTX 2080 Ti for $1,000. For $1,000, great price for performance. For $1,200, $300, no. So yeah, that's all I wanted to say. So what I said on my last video completely came true. It's about 30% performance better on 4K and about 20-25% performance on 2K. So if you wanna comment, subscribe, like the video, dislike the video, go ahead. All I wanna say is I am right. I am totally right, and I told you so. Alright, this has been Crimson Dante Gamer. If you wanna see future content later on, just click that bell, subscribe, and I'm just happy that we actually got new technology, and for the price that it's worth. The RTX 2080 seems to be the best for the price if you find it for cheap. Let's see, he actually is putting something here. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Perfect price. Oh wait, that's 1080 Ti. Never mind. My bad. So yeah, you shouldn't be buying this card for that much money. It's not worth it. Really not worth it. Around $750, I would say is the price. If you can find it for $750, RTX 2080, that's a great price for that card. Great price. Anyways, yeah.